Hi there to all of you. Here at Myth Explorer, we're going to explore the amazing realm of Egyptian mythology. My fellow explorers, today we set off on an amazing journey through time to discover the fascinating story of Anubis, the mysterious god who is known as the guardian of mummification and the afterlife. Anubis, with his characteristic jackal-headed face, is a symbol of the death-rebirth cycle and a protector of the deceased. Let's explore the myths and stories surrounding this amazing god, learning about his beginnings, his significance in prehistoric death rites, and his lingering effect that still fascinates us now. In the kingdom of the pharaohs, Anubis was a god that was both revered and feared. Get ready to solve his riddles. Anubis was regarded as a god of great importance in the ethereal world of ancient Egypt because of his indispensable function in guaranteeing the deceased's secure transition into the hereafter. Anubis was not just the protector of graves and cemeteries, he was also in charge of the weighing of the heart rite, a holy occasion where a person's permanent eternity was decided by the purity of their heart. Throughout the burial ceremonies and the soul's descent into the underworld, his presence provided solace and direction. We must first establish the historical and mythological background of ancient Egypt to completely appreciate the significant influence Anubis had on Egyptian beliefs regarding death and the afterlife. A flourishing civilization existed over 5,000 years ago on the verdant banks of the Nile River, one of the oldest civilizations in history. The rich mythology of ancient Egypt had a lasting influence on their daily lives, art, and architecture. Their worldview was based on their pantheon of gods and goddesses, each of whom was connected to a particular facet of existence and nature. This complex mythology offered explanations for the afterlife, natural occurrences, and human experiences. It was more than just a compendium of tales, it was a systematic theory that directed social mores and ceremonies, including ornate burial procedures meant to facilitate a seamless transition to the hereafter. Within this divine order, Anubis was a significant figure, with his characteristic jackal-headed form. One of the earliest gods in Egyptian mythology, Anubis was the god of mummification and the guardian of the dead. He was a highly respected person in ancient Egypt because of his unshakable commitment to leading souls safely through the perilous voyage into the underworld and supervising the painstaking process of mummification. Anubis's mythological beginnings are closely entwined with those of other well-known gods. Most typically, Anubis is thought to be the son of the goddess of grief and protection, Nephthys, and the god of the afterlife, Osiris. There is, however, another interpretation that puts his mother as Isis, who over time came to be closely identified with Osiris in mythology. Nephthys, Osiris's sister and Set's wife, is introduced in the story feeling abandoned and unwanted. She poses as her sister Isis in a last-ditch attempt to win Osiris over, which results in the birth of Anubis. It makes sense that Isis would be angry to learn the truth about Anubis's biological father. However, Isis is compassionate toward Nephthys rather than holding bitterness. Sensing that Set's fury poses a threat, Nephthys asks Isis for help in concealing the baby Anubis. Together, they hide him in the marshes, where Isis tends to him and keeps him safe. Anubis's position as a devoted servant and guardian was cemented when he showed love and protection to Isis and Osiris, creating a strong relationship between them. Osiris was an important figure in Egyptian mythology because he was the ruler of the underworld and a representation of rebirth. He was linked to vegetation, fertility, and the yearly flooding of the Nile, which restored the land's plenty and vitality. Anubis plays a major role, especially in the narrative of Osiris's resurrection. This story starts with a heartbreaking betrayal. Enraged by ambition and jealousy, Set brutally kills and dismembers his brother Osiris. Anubis, renowned for his extraordinary embalming abilities, comes forward to help Isis, the faithful spouse and sister of Osiris, with the laborious process of repairing and preserving Osiris's body. Osiris's remains are carefully maintained thanks to Anubis's skill, allowing Isis to carry out her potent magical rituals and momentarily bring him back to life. Their son Horus, who is meant to exact revenge on his father's killer and bring peace back to Egypt, is conceived as a result of this amazing rebirth. Anubis is involved in more than just Osiris's mummification. He plays a big part in the legendary conflict between Set and Horus over the Egyptian throne. Set, who stands for chaos and usurpation, is challenged by Horus, who stands for legitimate power and order. Anubis, who is revered for his impartiality and commitment to justice, is asked to arbitrate the dispute. Anubis serves as an unbiased mediator, ensuring that all sides follow Ma'at, the fundamental tenet of Egyptian mythology that encompasses harmony, truth, and divine order. Anubis restores equilibrium and security to Egypt by assisting Horus in regaining his rightful position as the country's ruler through mediation and wise judgment. Osiris's sister, Nephthys, had a significant role in Egyptian funeral customs. She was frequently portrayed as Set's spouse, and, along with her sister Isis, was crucial to the grieving and defense of the departed. Nephtys's connection to grief and protection highlighted the strong ties to family that molded the Egyptian pantheon and customs. Anubis, Osiris, and Nephthys's story provides an insight into the complex network of connections and meaning that characterized Egyptian mythology. Anubis symbolized the endless cycle of life and death, guardianship, and loyalty as the faithful servant of Osiris and protector of the dead. His participation in the weighing of the heart ceremony and participation in burial rites underscored the significance of morality and cleanliness in the hereafter. We have a deep appreciation for the intricate web of myths and tales that influenced ancient Egyptian civilization as we draw to a close our investigation of Anubis. Anubis's tale demonstrates the mythology's lasting ability to provide answers to life's questions and those of the afterlife. The significance of Anubis in ancient Egyptian religion cannot be emphasized. He was considered an important divinity in the religious rituals of the period because of his connections to mummification and the afterlife. To honor Anubis and ask for his protection, priests who were devoted to him carried out complex rites and ceremonies. The Egyptian landscape was littered with temples or mastabas, which functioned as hubs for these hallowed ceremonies. It was the belief of devotees that calling upon Anubis's assistance would guarantee a peaceful transition and secure journey to the hereafter for the deceased. The Anubion in Saqqara was one of the most prominent Anubis temples. This hallowed location served as a center for embalming techniques, in addition to being a place of devotion. The dead were readied for their voyage to the afterlife under the careful watch of the priests, guaranteeing their preservation by Anubis's holy precepts. Because Anubis was associated with the color black, which represents fertility and rebirth, he was figuratively associated with the fertile soil of the Nile Delta, where fresh life arises following the yearly floods. Beyond his function as the guardian of the dead, Anubis has a long history in Egyptian culture. He is a representation of rebirth and regeneration, representing the enduring optimism and continuance of life cycles. His position as a guardian and guide is highlighted by his appearance in mythology and religious traditions, and the ancient Egyptians' everyday life and spiritual beliefs were influenced by him. Modern society still finds resonance in Anubis's legacy as a potent symbol of death, protection, and the afterlife. His unique jackal-headed visage and his association with mummification practices have permanently altered how modern Egyptian mythology is interpreted. Frequently seen in literature, painting, and other forms of media, Anubis represents the enigmatic mentor who aids characters in making the transition from life to death. Anubis's enigmatic appearance captivates audiences in popular culture. He portrays the attraction of supernatural abilities and old secrets in several films, TV shows, and video games. His persona frequently acts as a conduit between this life and the next, offering direction and safeguarding to individuals setting out on spiritual quests. The worlds of fashion and design find Anubis to be appealing in addition to entertainment. His famous images have influenced modern aesthetics, representing protection, change, and the enduring appeal of Egyptian mythology, along with other Egyptian elements. Designers and artists express Anubis's timeless relevance in their creations by incorporating his symbology. Furthermore, Anubis continues to be a topic of great scholarly curiosity. His significance in ancient Egyptian religion is still being investigated by academics and historians, who are examining the procedures and beliefs related to dying, preservation, and the afterlife. Being both a protector and a guide, Anubis sheds light on the intricate rituals and practices that defined ancient Egyptian spiritual beliefs and their conception of life and the hereafter. Discover the rich tapestry of tales that continue to charm and motivate people all around the world by learning more about Egyptian mythology. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel for more mythological and historical information, like it, and share your ideas in the comments. View a few of our other videos on related subjects as well. I appreciate your viewing very much. Please feel free to post any comments below with any questions or ideas you may have for the next videos. Check out my YouTube channel for updates. Have a curious mind and continue diving into the amazing realm of mythology until the next time.